just because your parents are like, you have to make a 4.0 or a 3.5 and higher. They didn't go to school through no pandemic. So they don't understand everything that you're going through. What it do, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome. My name is Kristen Lorraine. I'm here to motivate the day. And today, this video is dedicated to all my college students, freshmen, junior, senior, sophomore, whatever you're about to be. This video is for you. Because listen, we're all about to go back to school during a pandemic, and even if you're not going back to your campus, you're gonna be doing online classes. And I don't know about y'all, but I've been a little stressed because I'm like, online. So these first few tips are geared towards people who are taking strictly online courses, but if you're taking face-to-face classes, these tips can definitely be used as well. So tip number 1 would be to stay organized. When you're taking online classes, it's so hard to really have a strict schedule for yourself, because when you're taking face-to-face classes, you know you have to be at class at 3:15 to 4:45, or you have those designated times for your class. But when you're taking online, if you don't have a Zoom meeting for your class and it's just every man for himself, just do your work, get it done at the deadline, it's hard to stay organized because you don't have that strict schedule. So then you have to make that schedule for yourself. Some ways that you can stay organized are by using a desk calendar and just writing all your dates, all your deadlines, still having folders to put your papers in. I highly recommend still printing out your papers and your syllabi with all of the deadlines and dates that everything is due for you, and just to still remind yourself like, yo, I'm still taking classes, I'm still in school even though it's online. I know a lot of people are still going to be remaining at home during this semester, so being home, like for me, coming home and doing my work last semester was hard because home is like the chill spot, you know, whereas at school I had my own designated place. I would go to the library, or I would go to my desk in my room, whereas coming home I was like, my bed, my room, that's my chill spot. So I had to adjust and make a designated space for myself to where I was going to do my work, still printing out things so I could physically see it rather than just having it on my phone or on my laptop. So another way that you can stay organized is by using your planner and using it effectively. So always continuously checking your planner, or using your email and making sure that you're consistently daily checking your email to see if your professor emailed you. Or I know at my school we use something called Blackboard. It might be different at other schools, but we use Blackboard, and that tells you all your classes, all the assignments that you have, and if you have a good professor, they're gonna put all your assignments on there. If not, email your professor. Make sure you're talking to your professor and asking them, how can I be successful in this class now that it's online? Number 2, and this goes along with being organized, is don't allow yourself to fall off. If you start on top of the class and having all your stuff printed out and you have all your things ready and available and you're doing all your assignments, don't allow yourself to get lazy and fall off, because it's so easy to do. You miss one day, you miss one little assignment, you're just like, and you just let it pile up and pile up and pile up, and at the end of the day, you're only making it worse for yourself. These deadlines are strictly when things are due. So don't allow yourself, if something is due at midnight, to start doing it at 11:30. Just because the class is online doesn't mean that you have time to slack off. Tip number 3. I know some people, a lot of people, I work while I'm still in school. So don't think because your classes are online that you can just pick up extra shifts. And I understand, get in your bag, sis, bro, whatever, get in your bag. But you still need to be making sure that school is your number 1 priority. Still make sure that you're carving out time to study and do your work and get your homework and your different assignments done. Tip number 5. I briefly mentioned this in my first tip, but make sure that you are communicating with your professors. You essentially are paying your professors your tuition money that money is being dispersed to some of your professors. So communicate with your professors. If you don't understand something, make sure that you're continuously emailing them. It doesn't matter, well, of course, be courteous of the time that you're emailing them, but still make sure that you're having open communication, just like you were having a face-to-face and you had a question during class, or if you were gonna wait after class to say something to your professor. Make sure you're taking advantage of their office hours, because just because something's online doesn't mean that they no longer have office hours. They're still going to have office hours, so make sure you're utilizing those times. And you're also just emailing them. If you don't understand anything, email them. Your school has these resources, has these professors that are teaching you. They know what they're talking about. They don't need to learn this. You need to learn it. So make sure that you're still talking to your professors, because at the end of the day, they're supposed to be teaching you. And if you don't understand something, then say something, because it would be a waste of money not to say anything. You're paying thousands of dollars not to send a quick little email on, I don't understand this. Can you help me? Can you show me how I need to study for this? Make sure you're still having open communication, because this is your education at the end of the day. And don't be ashamed to ask them questions or think that you have a stupid question, because first of all, no question is stupid. If you have a question, ask it. So I don't remember what tip number I'm on, but adjust your courses. If your school was saying that, hey, classes are going to be face-to-face, and then all of a sudden they're like, psych, we're doing it remotely, adjust your courses. If you know that you just aren't good at online classes, which I know for a fact I struggle with taking online classes, face-to-face is where it's at. I'd rather have that connection, be able to, I got a question right now, you're going to answer it right now. Like, I just know how that is for me, and I know that a lot of people can relate to that. So adjust your courses. If you know that you're taking a huge course load and you're taking 21 credit hours, maybe drop it down to 18. Or if you're taking a class that you know that's going to be super duper difficult for you, adjust that so that you won't have to take a super duper hard class, and maybe you in the spring semester you can pick it back up when hopefully we're taking face-to-face classes. So adjust your course level. Do what you know is going to work best for you, because this is your education ultimately, and it sucks that we're in a pandemic, but that's the reality of the situation. So adjust your course level. Do what you know is going to be best for you. Use your campus resources. I know that a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's not face-to-face anymore, so how am I going to still do my therapy or go to certain events or still have the college experience that all college students wish to have? These schools are, well, I can only speak about my school. I feel like my school, Winthrop University, woot woot, I feel like they're still doing their best to try to have the Winthrop experience, as they like to call it, but the social aspect. So events, I know some things are going to be via Zoom, or with counseling service. If you've seen any of my videos, y'all know I'm here for counseling, and I know it's not the same to be able to go in a room and talk to somebody, like have that actual interaction, but still use the resources. So for last semester, because we couldn't just have face-to-face interactions anymore and they sent us home, I would still call and speak with somebody for my therapy sessions, because my mental health, it was really down the drain. It was really bad, and it was pretty trash actually. So use the resources that they have for you. Still try to make the best of what you can, because this pandemic, we all thought that it was going to be gone in July, and it's August and numbers are still rising. So make sure you're still using the resources so that you can still have the college experience as close as you can during a pandemic. Make sure you're still talking to your friends and you're still having those connections and interactions, because it's hard when you're online and you're not at school and living on campus, and you can just knock on your friend's door and just go to their room and have a nice conversation. But pick up the phone. Make sure that you're increasing the amount of time that you're talking to your friends on the phone or doing things that you like to do, because child, we struggling. Like, that's the reality of the situation. But still try to make the best of it. And one of the ways that you can do that is by still having those connections and interactions with your friends or your family members. And last but not least, for my online folks, is try to remain positive. Like, there's remaining negative is just, it's not going to do anything for you. It's not going to help your mental health, your physical, your emotional. But try to count the blessings that you have. So although this is my senior year, I'm not going to be able to have the year that I wanted. Our homecoming was canceled. There's no tailgating. A lot of events just aren't going to be happening. But I can still say that I'll be able to see my friends. Just trying to count the little things as blessings and still remaining positive. You're still alive. You're not dead. So just try to count everything as a blessing. Now for my face-to-face folks, and you're still gonna be having classes in your actual class at the school, these tips are for you. Number 1, make sure that you're still following COVID-19 guidelines. So you're wearing your face mask, you're wearing gloves if need be, you're wearing a little shield, you're still staying 6 feet apart from people, because just because you're still on campus doesn't mean that everything is normal. There's no such thing as normal anymore. This right now, wearing masks, staying 6 feet from people, that is our new normal. So make sure you're still taking these precautions, because COVID-19 is real. And although these numbers, we keep hearing different numbers, people are still dying. So make sure that you're still taking the necessary precautions so that you're keeping yourself and your friends and family safe. Another tip for my face-to-face: expect the unexpected. These times are so uncertain, and it's actually scary to think about, because you don't know what will happen the next day. Just because my school said that we're going to be having face-to-face classes, I've mentally prepared myself. There's a 90% chance that it's really going to go remote. And even when I do get to campus, just because it starts face-to-face doesn't mean that it's going to remain that way. My fall semester is like 3-4 months, something like that. And just because they're like, oh yeah, it's face-to-face now, doesn't mean that it's going to stay that way. So make sure that you've mentally prepared yourself, and you're also taking advantage of every moment that you have with your friends, your family, and on campus, because we don't know if we're actually going to stay on campus this fall semester. This is for my online and my face-to-face folks. Make sure that you try your best. These times are so uncertain, and online classes, even face-to-face, and going back to school, knowing that our college experience is not going to be the same, especially for freshman students who are just coming in to school. This is not how college usually is. But still make the most of what you can out of your experience. But most importantly, with your classes and your course load, make sure that you try your best and know that that's good enough. And just because your parents are like, you have to make a 4.0 or a 3.5 and higher, they didn't go to school through no pandemic. So they don't understand everything that you're going through. Especially for my first gen students, your parents didn't even go to college. So take what they're saying with a grain of salt, because like, unless you're in college right now, you don't understand what we're going through. And that's just that on that. So try your best, do your best, and know that that's good enough. And use all of your resources. Talk to your professors, talk to your friends, talk to people who previously took the classes that you're taking for help. Use all the help that you can. Do your best and know that that's good enough. And make sure that you have a good fall 2020 semester.